Another day. I'm going to take you on a very typical day of mine where I'm going to do some training, do some work, deal with some injuries. I might replace my run with something a bit different. I don't know, I'll see how I feel. I've been dealing with shin splints recently, so I need to nip that in the bud before it becomes a proper injury. Radius moderate. Tell me to do a base run, that's fine. Shorter than ideal, restorative. Okay. HRV looks good. Today is your day, let's get it. So this monstrosity is frozen blueberries, a whole banana, a handful of sultanas, faye, so just set yogurt. I go for 0% faye, just because I can have more of it without feeling too full. The 5% fat one makes me a lot fuller, still absolutely delicious, but I can have more of this one, which gives me a bit more protein, and then kind of like a half to a full tablespoon of peanut butter as well. So we're looking at about 450 calories in this bowl. I probably have this every single morning. It's just I'm a creature of habit, I can't help myself. But it just hits a spot for me in the morning, and I have it as soon as I wake up. So I suppose what some people would call habits, others would call routine. I'm definitely a creature of habit. It allows me to sort of better measure what I'm doing day to day. My routine of strength and conditioning allows me to progress my weights and my strength. My habit of running every day allows me to measure very consistently and precisely how I'm improving. I also have my routine of I'll have my breakfast, I'll put on something that I like to watch, like football highlights or a podcast, and that just sets me up for the day in the best way. One of the things I'm dealing with at the moment, which is a brand new annoyance for me, is what feels like the start of shin splints. So on Friday, I've got an appointment with Louisa in Brighton, and we're going to do some soft tissue work to just see if we can ease that. Until then, I'm going to ice it when it feels sore. I'm going to try and not run, even though I really wanted to be running at this point. The next event I have is High Rocks on December the 5th, which is a doubles, and we're going to go for a pretty quick time. So I really need to be able to run strongly for that. The ache in my shins start, and I just feel this like pressure, and it almost feels like it's on the bone or in between the bone and the calf. So I think the plan is I'm going to continue my High Rocks drills, my stations, replace the running with bike, continue my strength training. So I think I'm going to take up my neighbour's offer of borrowing his bike, getting a little inside trainer, and replace all of my running for the next fortnight with cycling drills and swimming. I think that will help a lot. I think it's really important that I nip this in the bud before it really becomes a problem. I'm going to do some stretching now, which is what I do typically in the morning. I'm going to stretch, I'm going to have a coffee, I'm going to work, and then I'm going to go to the gym in a couple of hours. I forgot to talk about this. So every morning I take this Symprove. It's live and active bacteria that you take every morning 10 minutes before you eat, and it's supposed to fill your gut with bacteria that is generally missing. I took this not because I necessarily have lots of problems with my gut, but because I was starting to have pretty significant pain in my stomach, like every fortnight or every month, and addressing stress helped it a lot. But I also thought that the issue was potentially a digestive one and a problem with my digestion, so I thought that maybe this would help with some missing stuff that would help aid that issue. I honestly can't tell you with any certainty how much this is helping. We went away last week and I didn't have it for 4 days, and I definitely felt a difference in my stomach. I don't think you need to be having massive problems to see an improvement in your general gut health by taking this on a daily basis. I do definitely see the difference, and I'll continue to take this for as long as it's available, and continue to be a bit more mindful about my gut and getting the right bacteria in there. So stretching is a fairly new thing for me. I call it yoga and meditation, though I've never been to a yoga class. I've never been to a meditation class. I don't know how to officially do these things. But what I do is go over the stretches that I know work my body in the best way. I know the parts of my body that are tight, so I make sure I isolate those and really try to get some warmth in those sort of joints and those muscles and those tendons. These sessions aren't comfortable for me. They're not all that relaxing in the actual movements, but I always take time to breathe and try and let myself live in these places in comfort, so I learn to be comfortable with these movements. But I'm always pushing myself during these sessions. I always take minutes to sit down and just take deep breaths in and out, and think about the things that I'm really grateful for in life, and think of things that I'm grateful for that day and that week. And it just allows me to feel a bit more grounded for the rest of the day. The other thing that I have been taking now, which is probably for about a month, lion's mane, which is actually a mushroom, but the idea is that it helps you with focus, relieve brain fog, basically just sort of switch you on a bit. And I've been taking these for about a month, and I think I've seen enough of a difference where I'll continue to take them. I think in general, my day-to-day, and this might sound a bit weird, and there might be other things at play here, but my day-to-day feels more positive, and I'm looking at things with a bit more clarity in terms of my decision making when it comes to work, when it comes to training, when it comes to, particularly with injuries, or like, I was going through a period where if I dropped a plate, I would like lose my mind, and I'd be so angry at myself, and like it would almost be the end of the world. And I don't think it's a coincidence that in the last month that I've been taking lion's mane, those kind of little things that end up stacking up and becoming a big problem haven't become an issue. And I do think that there's a chance that the lion's mane is aiding that. And if I break down how I feel since taking these, I can't argue with the results really. I can either do my strength session, which would be front squats, bench press, bodyweight pull-ups, leg extensions, or I could do a high rocks circuit. What I'm thinking is that I will do a mixture of the two. So I'm going to do my strength session and then add on the end a sort of 20-minute hit, because this particular strength day isn't a long one. It's been designed that way by my strength coach, Aaron. So I'm not overloading too much during this prep where I have running goals and endurance goals. Your face of concentration is quite funny.
Rude.
I would have enjoyed the footage if I just drove off and left you with the camera. So we have a strict hour, don't we? So I am going to split my session into two. One 30-minute strength session, one 30-minute cardio-y, high roxy. Is cardio-y a word? The first one will be what Aaron set me for my strength. The second one will be a high rocks focus thing without running to keep off my shin and potentially exacerbate my shin splints. And then maybe get a coffee before we go back to get you home. It depends how much time we've got, doesn't it? That'll be a question for later. And then? No, and then. I watched Butterfly Effect while you were away. Yeah. It's actually really good. It's just a bit creepy, isn't it? Anyway. Let's talk more work. Hi, Emma. Yeah, you're right. Pardon? I may as well, yeah. So I've entered a new era of strength training where we're talking more about maintenance and muscle retention as opposed to muscle building. We sat down, came up with a really good weekly plan that I can do where I can push it if I want to, but at the minimum I can just do really comfortable sets with weight that feels like it's pushing my ability, but I'm not overloading and getting too fatigued, because I also have a running session every day and it's a mixture of tempo, long runs, intervals, and I need to make sure that my energy levels are high enough to do all of these movements successfully. And so I'm actually progressing and not just counterbalancing both disciplines. I'm going to wrap up my session with one more round of 40-meter lunges and then call it a day, because we need to get back. We've got a time schedule today. So Right, session done. Time to get a coffee, get back home, have some food. I'm gonna have a Trek bar now, which isn't the purest form of protein and carbs, but it'll do for today. On the go. Switching off the gym. Bye, gym. Good session. I didn't quite get to do all the stuff I wanted to do, but I did most of it. And to be honest, the only thing I missed out was the wall balls. So I can do wall balls at home. If I want to do it later, I can. But I feel pretty good. Got a good workout in there. Did a good bit of strength. Did a mini high rocks, 85 burpees, 80 meters of sandbag lunges with a 20 kilogram. If I wasn't to go and do a run, I have done a bit of cardio in the burpees, but also it doesn't matter today if I don't. I really need to look after my shins. I really have to protect those shins and make sure they don't really develop into an injury, because in a month's time I've got high rocks doubles and we want to put it down a good time. And then end of November, I start a pretty aggressive marathon prep to try and go sub 3 hour at the Brighton Marathon. And my plan was going to be going for a swim. There's a pool near here that's doing cold water swimming at the moment. I thought, you know what, that'd be great for inflammation and injuries, like in my shin. It's sort of low impact, so it's not like running. And I was completely set on it, but then I also noticed that, I'm gonna stand here because the kettle's boiling. I also noticed that it's not an open water swim today, or an open session swim, should I say. It's a group adult class, and I don't think I've got the capacity to deal with a group of adults learning to swim together. I think today the vibe is I want to be by myself, and if I was to go for a swim, I just want to kind of be in my own little world and swim the lanes. That was going to be what I was into today. So I think, at the risk of sounding incredibly antisocial, I'm not going to go for a cold water swim. I'm going to make a smoothie now. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to continue doing some work and see if I can kind of get ahead with my work so I have a little less to do tomorrow, and I'll do the double session tomorrow. So it feels a bit weird not doing my double session today, but I think with the shin splints in mind, I really think it's a good idea not to run today. I have a bike that's come in with one of those Wahoo kicker training things. So that will be my low impact cardio on days that I can't run. And for triathlon and Ironman prep, it's going to be essential. So this won't be an issue going forward. I can either do bike or swimming on the days that I don't want to run. But today, I think the way that it's sort of gone about, I think it's maybe just the universe saying, slow down, chill into the evening, gonna have a smoothie, gonna do some more work, gonna take it slow, gonna have some dinner, chill out for the evening, and then I'll assess the shin splint situation there tomorrow. So really this smoothie is about just getting enough protein in the day. It's just a little protein booster. That's why I don't actually put frozen fruit in it. I'm not completely against putting frozen fruit in smoothies. Just for this particular one, I don't want the additional sugar content that you get from broken down fruit. So this is really just about having the milk, the coconut water, and the protein and creatine that I want as a supplement to sort of aid that daily protein intake. So I still have quite a high calorie diet. I also have a very high protein diet, just to aid with muscle repair. Although I'm doing a lot of endurance training, I do still have the secondary goals of maintaining muscle at the least, and potentially also building muscle. I know it's very difficult to build muscle while training for endurance events, but it's not impossible. No. Let me deal with my screaming cat. Layla, what could possibly be the matter? She's so noisy. Hey, Pudding. Her name is Layla, but we call her Pudding. You gonna say hello to everybody? Okay, no, she says no. Sorry, everybody. She's a bit grumpy. She's also about 16 years old, so you can't really blame her. What is that in people years? Is it like 15 years for every cat year? So what would that make her? That can't be right. 10? No, that can't be right. Is it like 5 or 7? 15 years would be crazy. God, my mental arithmetic is garbage. Yeah, it should be about like 80 or 90 years old. I'm sure someone in the comment section can fix my crap arithmetic. One thing I did forget to do is I need to go and test the van, because we have a van which is mostly used for mountain bike trips. I got it a couple of years ago when I was doing lots of mountain biking, and I went to use it the other day because Kate was away and using the other car, and it wouldn't start. And we've since charged the battery and then it worked, and we've since repaired the battery and then it worked again. But on both occasions it stopped working the day after. So I'm going to test it now after repairing the battery to see if it's fixed. Let's see if it works. Come on, baby. Show me the good stuff. Do it. Do it. Oh no. It bloody hasn't worked. Crap. Oh, okay. The poor van needs a new battery. Okay, that's fine. At least I know now it's just a dead battery and I just need to get a brand new one. So, smoothie, cup of tea, finish work, chill. Not quite the day I would have hoped for. I'm really feeling the fact that I can't run. I can run, but I shouldn't run. I need to let this shin heal itself before it becomes a proper injury. So I kind of had to just sit and accept that my evening now was going to be rest. And I think really my body is telling me that I need that rest anyway. I just always struggle to do that. I do have a bike coming that I'm borrowing, that I'm going to put on a Wahoo kicker. That way I can do my workouts on my bike in here. Still got a good workout done. I've eaten really well. For dinner tonight, we've got this really cool tray bake thing that we're doing where we let the sausages sit in garlic, and it just helps bring so much flavour out into them. And we have a tray of butternut squash, sweet potato and turnip, and we put a bit of bacon on there as well, and we roast it all together, and it's just such an easy, lovely meal to have. A really good winter warmer meal as well. So I haven't explained some of the nutrition tracking that I've been doing in this video yet. I downloaded this app called Alma that is basically a nutrition tracker, quite simply. but there's something about it that I find really intuitive. I don't need to follow a tracking system that goes calorie to calorie. I don't need the exact calories all the time. And you can do that with this. But I think I was using apps like MyFitnessPal and using that to track. Really great app. It is a good app, particularly if you want to be very particular. For me though, I just need to make sure that I'm eating enough food with the right macro ratio basically, and I've got a pretty good understanding of how much to eat to hit a certain amount of calories. When I'm doing a lot of training throughout a day, I know I really have to put on a lot of calories and carbs. So I've got a pretty good system there that seems to be working for my energy levels in my body. But it is nice just to have an app where I can just chuck in some quick text and say, I've had like a certain amount of yogurt with sultanas banana. Don't have to worry about being too accurate with it, but it gives me a rough idea of where I'm at. And I think that's a really sensible way to treat calories once you've got your own system dialed in, once you understand the sort of amount of calories that are in certain foods. I think for me, it's far healthier if I'm a bit broader with it and a bit vaguer with it. As long as I'm in the ballpark, I'm not trying to cut a lot of fat. And even if you were trying to cut a lot of fat, I still think being a little bit broader with your number measuring will help, because you're never going to be completely accurate. The packages on food only need to fit within a certain percentage of accuracy. So they're not always completely truthful. And also it's really hard to measure accurately how many calories you've burned in a day. So with that in mind, I think being obsessive over the numbers that might well be false is incredibly damaging to your mental health. And I think it's really important to take that band-aid off, get your diet really right, eat really good pure food as often as you can, add in certain supplements and protein powders to help boost certain macros like protein. If you're training a lot of cardio, fuel it with carbohydrates. If you're training a lot of strength and your muscle building, fuel it with a lot of protein for repair and recovery. Experiment and try things out. Do what's working for your body. Thank you for being on this day with me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll continue to do a mixture of videos on this channel, a mix of challenges, a mix of knowledge, giving, and then just day to day, how I go about my life and how I go about training and eating. It's something I'm incredibly passionate about, and I hope that passion comes through on here and you guys can get some value from it. So thank you for being here. Have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful week, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you next week.